Question document examination. Question document examination involves many areas of expertise. Included under question documents examination are the following disciplines: handwriting, typewriting, photocopying, and computer printers; forgery, paper and inks; writing instrument, computer disk; gambling, machinery; stamps, and the dating of documents. From the previous discussion, that we all know that question document is forensic science pertaining to documents their potential dispute in a court of law. Now I will discuss to you all the things and point that remember under the question document examination. Question document examiner. Traditionally, examiners have specialized in the study and investigation of question document to determine the facts surrounding their preparation of subsequent treatment. The examiner is also called upon to reveal alternation and substitution in documents and disappear, erase of obliterated writings. The examiners also determine the authenticity of a document by analyzing ink, paper, and other substances. So, question document examiner is proposal like ink, paper, expertise. They are responsible to make a sure document and original and authentic. For example, may isang mayaman na nagsulat or nag-iwan ng last will and testament na gusto ipa-examine ng mga anak kung totoo ba ang nakalagay sa dokumento. Di yan papasok ang handwriting examination. Maaring itanong nyo kung paano pag printed or computerized ang isang dokumento. And titingnan naman dito kung authentic ang pirma or signature ng gumawa ng last will and testament. So, when we need a handwriting examination, a handwriting examination is needed when there is a question of authenticity of a signature of their writing. A document examiner examined when a dispute arises as a authorship. Example documents: wills, deeds, insurance or bank record, and checks. Can a document examiner work with photocopies of question documents? The answer is case-to-case basis. If the copy is a good one and there is a thought information in the writing to allow an opinion, a copy of sufficient. Examiner always refers to work with original copies of documents. It eliminates the possibility of forgery by cutting, pasting, copying, and signature onto a document. Examining the entire document. Examine the whole document rather than just a few handwritten words or a single signature. For example, if a documents a single page, consider further investigation of these questions. Find the consider in examining entered document as a letterhead, sheet size, fold, erasures, crowding of lines, should the text and signature be written with same pen, alignment, arrangement of page, marks, or stain in indentations.
Ink and paper analysis. Ink and paper analysis is a type of examination that is conducted chemically. The document examiner is called upon to distinguish not only between inks but also to identify the source of the particular ink. There are different techniques done by the examiner to differentiate different ink sources. Examples of these techniques are specialized photographic techniques and various non-destructive tests. Over the years, it is known the most common chemical testing technique is thin layer chromatography or TLC. Moreover, additional chemical tests like high pressure liquid chromatography, solubility tests, and densitometry allow direct comparison of various colored and visible components of inks. Forensic paper examination have been expanded to include not only the traditional non-destructive physical measurements like paper weights, thickness, fluorescence, and opacity, but also its fiber composition, pulping, processes, coatings, fillers, and whiteness, and their elemental composition. According to Dr. Cantus, the longer the ink has existed on paper, the slower it dissolves in a solvent system. Brunel also stated that under certain circumstances, the relative aging of ink determination sometimes allow identifying its relative age to around 6 months. This development has already made an impact on various circumstances, an example which is the detection of backdated, fraudulent documents like medical malpractice and income tax evasion matters. This may be involved in agreement on paper such as wills and contracts, documents which impose an obligation, given a title, or grant a benefit, may depend for their effectiveness or validity on their date. This makes them susceptible to the work of the forger. A forger may be a person who produces fraudulent copies or imitation, or someone who falsifies something. A document can be treated by a skilled forger so that it appears to be 50 years older than it actually is. On the other hand, a skilled document examiner can often detect the falsity of such documents. Methods of aging. In order to give the document an appearance of age, physical and chemical treatment are conducted. There are various techniques done, namely heating, sunlight, abuse, and chemical treatment. Heating is a technique done by the document is heated in an oven or a hot stove to give it the brittleness and discoloration of age. Other methods done are baking and scorching. Next is exposure to sunlight. Produces the yellow color of age. Other techniques with the same purpose are carbon arc and ultraviolet lamps. In abuse, the paper may be crumpled, smeared, or discolored to show the appearance of the neglect that is associated with age. Lastly is the chemical treatment. Is done the document in order to stimulate the appearance of age. Example of chemical treatment are aspartic acid, racemation, and radiocarbon dating.
Determinations. To determine the age of document is not a simple matter. The fixing of an exact date is impossible in the absence of eyewitness to the making of the document. Among the problems that the examiner can sometimes answer successfully are the following. Ito yung kung paano malalaman kung gaano na katagal lang isang document at kung paano madedetermine ang eksaktong date kung kailan ito ginawa. At napaka-imposible nitong malaman kung walang eyewitness dahil ito ang magpapatunay kung kailan ginawa ang document. Purported age is the document as old as the date on other side would indicate. Ito yung binabase lang ang age ng document, example sa signature, kung gaano katagal yung signature, kung gaano noon ba din ito na i-publish. Probable date, what is the approximate date on which the document was made? This can be answered by setting a maximum age of the document. For example, if the model of the typewriter used to produce the document was not made before 1921, the minimum can be set similarly if the manufacturer did not use the watermark of the papers after 1980. Another probable maximum can be fixed. The use of ballpoint pen would likewise limit the age. Example, ang possible na ang isang document ay ginawa noong 2018 to 2019. Doon sa time span na iyon, ay maaaring ginawa yung document. Several documents. A question may arise concerning the priority of production of several documents. Is one of document produced before or another document? Several document naman ay, example, may isang document na ginawa bago pa gawin yung certain na document. Madedetermine doon kung gaano o kailan ginawa yung document na alam natin kung kailan ipinablish. Age indicators. A study must made of the physical and chemical properties of the paper and the writing and of the text and its meaning to determine the approximate age of the document. Among indicators that can assist the examiners are the following. Ink. Typewriter. The makes and the model of typewriter are associated with the defined manufacturing dates. Dated mechanical style. The use of certain style of mechanical impression is associated with the dates of the first appearance. D. Stamp rubber. Stamp can be referred to a date by the manufacturer or by the appearance of defect another date paper. Ang paggamit ng stamp ay maaaring mapeke. Halimbawa, ginawa ang papel ng April 20, ngunit ang inilagay sa stamp ay April 25. Ang papel ay mukhang talagang bago kung ito ay di-distribute pagdating ng April 26. For example, yun. Textual content. The document may contain information that suggests a date limit. F. Writing media. The chemical or physical properties of the media used to produce the document can be referred to manufacturing periods. G. Physical characteristic of the document consists of several pages. Additional evidence of age may be present. Style. There are passion in the arrangement of the various elements of letter. Paper. The composition, size, and condition of the paper are important factors in age determination. Procedures. The detail of procedure are additional points of examination as suggested below. Storage. How was the document kept? What is stored in the basement or cabinet? What are the climate? Ito naman kung paano mag-keep ng document. Kung ito ay may iwasang ma-expose sa sunlight dahil pag na-expose ang isang document sa sunlight, ay maaaring maapektuhan ang kalidad at ang tsura ng document. Paper. The document is examined and tested for breathless, undersoiling and mutilation in the discoloration, even or uneven is the color yellow with age, especially near to the top of the edge. Part. The examination should determine whether the inside or folded portion is more soiled in the inside than the outside. Such conditions suggested stimulated. Handprinting and numerals. Handprinting is any disconnected style of writing in which each letter is written separate and includes block, capitals, and manuscript writing. The method of identifying handprinting is fundamentally the same as used for the indication of cursive script, that is the identification of improbable of number of individual characteristics accidentally coinciding in two writing from different sources. Each writer is definable by his numeral is the same general manner and subject to the same condition as had been previously outlined in the respect to the identification of cursive script and handprinting.
Handwriting and handprinting. Although not all handwriting is identifiable to a specific writer, the examination of handwriting characteristic can sometimes determine the origin or authenticity of question writing. Traits such as age, sex, personality, or intent cannot be determined from handwriting examination. Some reasons for inconclusive results include the following: limited question and or non-writing, lack of contemporaneous writing or lapse of time between execution of question and non-writing, distortion or disguise in the question and or non-writing, lack of sufficient identifying characteristic, submission of photocopied evidence instead of original evidence. Graphic art. Printed document can sometimes be associated as originating from a common source or identified with non-printing paraphernalia such as work negative and plates. Altered obliterated writing. The presence of alternation of obliterated writing can sometimes be determined. The writing can sometimes be disappeared. What can be determined from erasures, alterations, and obliterations. Visualize a text of obligated materials. Visualize the original text of altered materials. Determine if material had been erased and possibly visualize that text. Paper. Turn edges can sometimes be positively matched. The manufacturer can sometimes be determined if a watermark is present. Paper can be examined for intended writing. What can be determined from paper? Paper fiber and chemical makeup of paper. Region of country where paper was produced. Burned or charred paper. Information on burned or charred documents can be sometimes be disappeared. The document should be minimally handled. The document should be shipped in the container in which it was burned in polyester film encapsulation or between layers of cotton in rigid container. Check writer. Check writer impression can be sometimes identified that produce it. Examination of check writer impression can sometimes determine the brand of check writer. Embossing and seal. An embossed or sealed impression can sometimes be identified with the instrument that produced it. Rubber stamp. A rubber stamp impression can sometimes identified with the rubber stamp produced. It submit the rubber stamp to the laboratory and cleaned.